My husband, though, has tried to undo some of my decluttering. I don't know where this thing is. There is no good place to keep a thing like this. This kitchen will be done. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to a new vlog. I'm Leigh from Mortgage Free Leigh. I talk about money and mum life on the internet. And today we're going to try and get some control back over this house, over my life, etc. Basically, I'm an overwhelmed mum. I have a 5-year-old, I have a 19-month-old. They can make mess faster than I can clean it up. Life is so busy now, having gone back to work after maternity leave. I just can't find the time to do absolutely everything. And that means that things get brought into the house, things don't leave the house when they should do, things get put in the wrong place. And I've got to the point now where I feel like I just need to be ruthless and declutter things. We're starting with the kitchen because, as I said, I have 2 kids. One of them is currently on his way back, or soon to be on his way back from a birthday party. The other one is eating a nice lolly in the living room because that is the only way I'm going to get time to do anything. And basically, I'm going to use this small amount of time to try and get some stuff out of our kitchen. For some reason, in my house, if I have a tidy, clean kitchen, I feel like that helps me to feel calmer. It's the one space in the house that has to be under control. I think because we're in and out of here so much, like making food, preparing food, having dinner, we've got like the big kitchen table in here, the kids do crafts in here. It feels like this room has to be under control, otherwise we've lost control of everything. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna try and get some control back over the kitchen. There are quite a lot of bits of stuff that just need to leave, or decisions need to be made about them. And I've been putting off those decisions because honestly, I get decision fatigue. Does anybody else get decision fatigue? Where like you make so many decisions in the day as a parent, like what are they gonna eat? Where are we gonna go? What are we gonna do? Etc, etc, etc. The list goes on. So many decisions get made. And then I just run out of the energy to make decisions about small things like, do I need to keep this? So basically, we're going to try and push ourselves to be ruthless and get rid of anything that we don't need in here and put things back where they actually belong. Because I just want things to be more simple, more minimalistic, and more manageable. We're quite minimal around here anyway in general, so you might look at this and think, what are you even talking about? There's nothing to get rid of. But for me, there actually is. The less stuff we have, the less stuff we have to deal with and manage on a daily basis, and the more time there is to do the things that we would actually want to do, which I feel like never happens. I feel like I never have time to do anything I want to do. I've just finished reading a book that I have actually been reading for a year, over a year in fact. And what's more, again, just to prove the point of the fact that this house is slightly out of control at the moment, I've just been to the charity shop with my daughter, seen a statue and thought, I'm sure I bought my mum a statue similar to that for Mother's Day. I don't think I've given it to her, and I don't know where it is. Like, I don't know where this thing is. And then also, my daughter's been doing some crafts. Can I find any other paintbrushes? No, we're down to 1 paintbrush. I know there's a whole stack of them, but we're down to 1 because I don't know where they are. Things get moved, not necessarily by me. There are 3 other people living in this house. Things get moved and they don't get put back, and I do not know where they are. So we're going to start with the kitchen. We're going to be realistic. We're going to pick 1 space. We are not doing the whole house. As I've said this before, we're not doing a whole house declutter, get rid of 90% of our stuff. Love those. Can't do them myself. It's not realistic. So we're going to deal with the kitchen. That's what we're going to do. Even if I only get like a few cabinets done, it's going to be better than nothing. So if this is the situation you're in, feel free to join me. I always find it's a lot easier to get something done when somebody else is doing it. These videos really motivate me. But also, if you just want to watch the chaos, go for it. I hope you enjoy. As you can see, I've already made a start. So there's washing that needs to be put away. I don't know if the dishwasher's full of dirty or clean stuff. This pasta, I was letting my kids play with this morning because it got to that level of desperation where I just needed to get them something they hadn't seen. So that's what that is. No one can eat that because, yeah, you won't want to eat that. We've got all kinds of random stuff, so let's get on with it. This is the cupboard I'm currently working in. I've got like candle stuff up here. These are basically like candles that I've taken the like remaining wax out of. Like this one's so cute, look, White Christmas. I really want to reuse it, but obviously it needs to be like with the Christmas stuff, not in here. Same with this one. This is like a little letterbox, like a little Santa Claus look. Look how cute this is. Letters to Santa. So I really want to keep it and reuse it. I could just use that for like decoration next year. But again, it needs to be with the Christmas stuff, not in the kitchen. This one just needs cleaning out and recycling. We've got this thing, which is quite bulky, but it's absolutely brilliant. It's one of those vegetable choppers. Little bits that need sorting out here. This is basically where I keep like the kids stuff. It needs a little wipe down as well. And then I've got like this whole basket that needs sorting through, because this is kind of like the random electricals, bag clips. There are walkie-talkies in there. It's such a random box of stuff to be in the kitchen. But there's also nowhere else for it to be, so it kind of works that it's in here. These are some dummies that we bought that are actually too small, so we absolutely don't need these. These need to be recycled because unfortunately the baby's already had one in his mouth, so I can't give those away. And these wine glasses, I hate these wine glasses. They're like the really thick ones. I actually got these ones from IKEA, and I like these ones. So I think, even though I was thinking like, oh, I should keep them in case we have like people over, I think actually I'd rather just get some more of these because I hate these glasses. And it's really quite rare that we have people over drinking wine anyway, because we live semi-rural, so usually you'd have to drive to get here. Not that I'm not happy to have found it, because we're actually going on holiday next month, but if anyone can tell me why there's €10 in the cupboard with like the kids' bowls and plates, I would love to know. I'm gonna put that somewhere safe so I can take it on holiday. This little box of things works quite well. I keep just like really random odd little things that we need, like small things that would get in the way. So we've got like one of the medication spoons, we've got one of these things. If you get one of these, keep hold of it. They're the ones that go in the top of medicine bottles so that you can actually use like the little syringes to sucker it out. Like a thing for cleaning straws and water bottles, and then like a permanent marker, so like mark on anything like, you know, food that we've made up and put in the fridge. So I feel like having little things loose like that is a nightmare, so I like to keep them in there. But I've decluttered a few things out of it. I don't know why the kids' straws were in there, but they were, so they're far too big for that. They need to go in the cutlery drawer, which is just underneath. And basically, yeah, there's a few bits that are coming out of there, so we're getting somewhere. Okay, one of the best investments I made when we moved into this house was this extendable like cutlery thing. It was from John Lewis, so it wasn't cheap. I think it might be the ID Design brand, which I'm not sure if they've changed names now, because this was quite a long time ago. But I love this thing, and it fits this perfectly. This is quite hard to keep on top of, honestly. It's not the best, but I can already see there are a few things in here we don't need, because the baby's now sort of self-feeding, so these are just way too long for him to be like self-feeding. These are more for like weaning, so these can probably go, to be honest. So let's put those in the going pile. And then this whole thing just needs a good clean out, so I'm gonna get everything out, give it a good clean, and just make sure that we actually need the things that are in it. I think most of it we do need. These are basically empty rolls of sellotape, so they can move and we need to get a new one.
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic lights. And I really wanna know if I will ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high.
Okay, these bottom couple of drawers I really struggle to keep on top of in terms of like decluttering, keeping them tidy. I feel like these are the kind of drawers that no matter what I do, I can't keep them organised, but I just don't know what else to do. So we're gonna have a look in here, see if we can improve the situation. At least we need to like maintain it a little bit better, like keep on top of it. So let's have a see what's going on in here. So this basically is where we keep like the wok, random things like cookie cutters. I feel like maybe they could live somewhere else, but it's just a kind of a case of work. Things like tin foil. Oh my god, there's so many crumbs in this drawer. Zip bags. Greaseproof paper. Maybe I could put those somewhere else. It's quite rare that we're using those, I guess. Maybe the less frequently used ones could live somewhere else. We reuse our bread bags so that we can basically use them instead of buying like plastic bags. I buy these zip seal bags because these reuse a lot better. Aldi have changed the little plastic bags and they are so rubbish, they rip immediately. It's actually better to get these and reuse and reuse and reuse than it is to get those and not be able to use them even once because they've ripped. But we try to reuse our bread bags as much as we can, but that obviously ends up with quite an unsightly collection of bread bags, and I'm sure there's some more somewhere else. So hopefully we'll find those along the way. Reusable zip seal bags. Start putting those in there. And then wooden utensils. Honestly, I feel like I need to boil these because they probably need a proper clean. The baby bibs, which we still are using at the moment, so I'm trying to declutter those out. And then this is really useful. I have got a set that's on a little, I don't know, utensil tray. Is that a thing? A utensil tray? But this doesn't go on there, but also we kind of need this extra one. I feel like my husband wouldn't be too pleased if I got rid of it. Should I though? We're being ruthless. Maybe I should be getting rid of it and force us to use the one that we do have that goes on the utensil tray. Oh man, this is hard. This, where are you supposed to keep something like this? There is no good place to keep a thing like this. Same for this. Oh man, it's bad in here. It's quite bad. Just found a kid's fork in the utility room, obviously. So that looks loads better now I've cleaned it. Now over the years, because I end up putting the kids to bed mostly, and my daughter, I still put her to bed now, she's 5, but she wouldn't let my husband do it. So we end up in a situation where he does most of the cooking. And for that reason, I can't make a decision about the pans because I feel like we've got 2 frying pans there, and I'm pretty sure we bought the second one to replace the bottom one, but we still have both. But I don't dare throw one out in case he uses it all the time and says it was the wrong decision. So we'll ask him about that later, but they're gonna have to go back in there. There is nowhere else to put pans of that size in this house. I just don't know where else they would go. So they're gonna have to go back in there. I think I've shown you this before, but this is my drawer of doom. It is the, I guess, Tupperware box, but it's not Tupperware because it's glassware apart from the lids. Mostly. There are a couple of bits of plastic still existing, but holy moly, I hate this. I have to say, I absolutely hate these. I hate the lids. I don't think the lids are very good. And I bought these. These are actually worse. I bought these because I was like, oh, that'll help me with the problem of containing stuff, because they nest, but I absolutely hate them. The lids don't go on properly. Yeah, I feel like maybe they need to go in a pile to leave the house. Again, I feel like my husband's going to be like, we need those. But I'm going to put them in the pile anyway and see if we can get rid of those. We had loads of these and somehow we're down to just one. Those are really useful, I have to say. This actually belongs to a set, so this shouldn't be in here. It should be with the set that it belongs to. I just feel like no matter what I do, it's never all going to fit together when it comes to this drop. Wait, is that broken? Oh man, I didn't even know we had one that was broken. Well, that's going to go. I'm not keeping a broken one. I've got no idea where the corresponding pieces are to these ones either at the moment, so this pile is the pile of stuff that is currently going in the pile to leave. So far, This is what's going. So I'm going to start putting things in a box because these wine glasses can go to a new home. There's nothing wrong with those. I think these bottles, I think I am going to part with them. I found another one. So I've got 2 of them actually. I just need to take the name labels off them, and then somebody might want those to just buy a new straw for. So I'm going to sort those out and then they can go. I found this like hand wash dispenser, but we're actually just using, you know, like the bottles already have a dispenser on them. It's just easier, so that's what we've been using. So that can go. I'm not convinced that that's going to be rehomable. I'll give it a clean and see what it looks like. These need to be recycled, or at least the box does. This needs to go with Christmas stuff. These clips are absolutely rubbish. I bought them from like B&M. They are rubbish, so they need to go. These are just like, there's a Calpol syringe top but with no bottom of the syringe. This I think goes to a slime pot, but I might have already recycled the slime pot, so that's gonna have to go. This is a box for a mobile phone that we don't need, so that can be recycled. Again, the weaning spoons, probably going to be recycled. I don't know, maybe they could go to the charity shop. I'm not sure. We are going to be getting rid of these things again. These can all be recycled. So it's not going too bad, to be fair. Those can go to the charity shop. Anything else I find that's reusable can go to the charity shop, but most of it here needs to be recycled or cleaned or rehomed. But we're getting somewhere. Okay, things had kind of descended into total chaos because my son came home, which meant I had like both kids and my husband here. My husband was making dinner. It became a madhouse. So they've finally gone out now for a little walk around, and I'm going to carry on. Basically where we're up to, I've done the washing up. We did those cabinets up there. We've improved these cabinets down here. I also sorted the cabinet under the sink, which is like a major clutter hotspot in this house because things just get shoved in there, but that's improved from what it was. I've started my box of things that might be able to be donated. I'm trying some walkie-talkies to see if they still work or not, to see whether or not we can keep those. What else am I doing? Rehoming things from in here that don't belong in here, probably into the utility room. Basically, I'm not gonna lie, some things are just getting shoved in the utility room, which will then be a disaster, but that is always a disaster and needs decluttering all of its own. But the things that don't live in here are getting moved out of here. So I think the best thing to do with the Christmas candles, and then I got like a little Christmas lid. So the sand and fog candles that I absolutely love have like different kind of lids, and I really like this Christmassy one. So I want to keep hold of that. I'm trying to clean out the like container that this came with because I might be able to use that at Christmas. But that's just currently got boiling water in it on the windowsill. Also, that's definitely a tip I recommend, is to put boiling water in your candle like pots when you've just got a little bit of wax left, because all the like scent comes out. It smells so good. It smells really good in here right now. So I'm going to chuck this stuff in the utility room and just basically carry on. I've asked my husband about the extra spatula and the pan, and he has agreed that we can let those go, so that's excellent. So we get that extra pan out of here, because we bought the other pan to replace this pan, but then we haven't got rid of this pan, and it's not looking in the best shape, so that's gonna go. Okay, it's starting to look a little bit better, I feel like. Not quite there, but it's definitely looking better. I already looked in that cupboard earlier. There's not a lot of stuff in that cupboard that needs to come out. This one is a bit of a hot mess, so we might look in that one. The one at the bottom definitely needs sorting out. This one is also another issue. That's just got a bin in it. This has alcohol in it, which I doubt there's much in there, like an extra cans and stuff. I don't think there's much in there, but we'll have a look in there. We've already done that. We already did these. That's the dishwasher, and that's just basically our bin store, like our unofficial bin store. So like recycling bins in there, basically. Like normal waste bin, recycling bins. So there's not a lot going in there, and this is the boiler. So it looks like we have a lot of cabinet space, but actually a lot of it's taken up with appliances. Bins, yeah, it's not as much as it looks like. Okay, I need to have some lunch, but in order to have some lunch, I need to tidy up this mess. Basically, my kids have been painting. This is like the messy mat, as we like to call it. I got it when my daughter was a baby. It was meant to be for like putting under a high chair when she's eating, but actually it's just so much better for crafts. It can go in the washing machine, it's brilliant. But that's why that's out. That's the bag that I had last night. That's, again, remnants of the painting. Shoes from last night. There's bottles, nail varnish, etc. It's just a mess and it needs clearing off. As I was clearing off the table, I remembered a conversation that I had with my husband earlier, which was, I think, we're gonna be saying goodbye to our high chair. My son is 19 months old, and basically, quite like my daughter, he no longer wants to sit in the high chair. So we've got like a little IKEA table and chair set that I will show you. It needs some TLC, but I'll show you that. They like sitting there, basically. It's like a kid's table to eat. He wants to get on the chairs. He does not want to be in here. We've got a Chico pocket snack high chair that we could attach to the chairs, but I think basically we're going to be saying goodbye to this, which is sad times because this is the one that we had since my daughter. I would like to pass this on, but these straps are disgusting. So I need to figure out how to clean these so that I can get it into like a usable state to pass on to somebody else. It's actually gonna be really nice to get this out of here. So maybe I might start disassembling that now.
Queens and kings and everything. On you. Queens and kings and everything. I've been wondering.
Hi guys, it is several days later. In fact, it's almost a week later because I have kids, I have a family, life is busy, and that is just realistic. When it comes to watching these kind of videos, it is not realistic to get this all done in like 8 hours. I don't know how people do it. They're amazing, but I am not. So here we are, almost a week later to finish off this job. I actually did get quite a lot done last week, but then it kind of turned into it was a difficult day with the kids, to be honest. And in the afternoon, we ended up going to Costco, which was quite a good trip. So that was a good decision, but obviously it meant I didn't finish off the job. So let's figure out what I've got left to do. So as I think I've already said, I think the food cupboards are fine. The freezer needs sorting out, but that's kind of a different job because that's sort of in the like sorting out the food. I'm not gonna declutter the freezer because that's not really the goal here. Like that's food. I need to declutter stuff we don't need. My husband though has tried to undo some of my decluttering. I'll show you what he did. So first of all, he put some of the, you know, the ones that I said need to go in the Christmas like collection. Well, he hates going up the loft. Absolutely hates going up the loft. The Christmas stuff is up the loft. These can't stay in the kitchen. I'm going to put them in the utility room for now because basically what I do when I'm sorting out things is if there are things that need to go somewhere and it's hard to put them there, I just move them to the next area that I'm going to declutter, and eventually they'll get moved around until they have to go away. But yeah, they're going to go in the utility room for now. They are not staying in here. This kitchen will be done. He also doesn't want me to get rid of these. You know when I said I hate them? Because he said he uses them for like mixing stuff when it comes to like cooking. Honestly, we just need to get some mixing bowls. I hate these. These need to go, but he hid them in the kitchen. Yeah, I'm going to move them to the declutter box, and we'll have to discuss that one again later. So what I've got left to do is I need to empty the recycling because that's a little bit out of control. I need to sort out this cupboard here, this like corner one. That ends up being a bit of a catch-all for everything. It's an awkward shape. It's a bit of a mess. Yeah, so that needs sorting out. And then I think we've mostly sorted it apart from a random pile of things that need sorting over on the other side of the kitchen. So let's do this cupboard and then we're almost on the home straight. Cupboard of doom part. I don't know how many cupboards of doom we're on right now, but a few. So the vitamins have ended up getting shoved in here because they just look messy out on the counter. But they're just a lot of little bottles and it all just needs tidying up. And there are definitely some things in here that don't belong in here. So I've got like leftover party supplies from my daughter's birthday party. These need to go in a different box that I have. Then I've got my collection of stasher bags. I might get rid of these ones. So these are my stasher bags, and these are basically, instead of like using plastic sandwich bags for like half cut up onions, sandwiches that you're taking out, snacks that you want to take out. We even put like the oats when we go and feed the ducks. I know people are going to get mad about feeding the ducks. I feel like it's a thing that we do in England, but a lot of people get really mad about feeding the ducks. But we feed the ducks oats and peas and other things that are good for them. But when we feed the ducks, we put it in there. Anyways, I absolutely love these stasher bags. But I've tried to buy like cheaper versions in the past because stasher bags are not cheap, but they just don't compare. So these need to go, frankly, just, I don't know if you can recycle those. Maybe I'll put them in the plastic recycling that I have to take to the supermarket and see what happens. But these are amazing. I'll put an Amazon link to these in the description box, which will be an ad because it'll be an affiliate link, just so you know. So yeah, those are amazing. I need to keep all of those. Absolutely love them. I wish I had more. We need to give it a wipe out in here. So I've got the scales in here. This is a sweet cone from a party that my baby went to, a 2-year-old. A 2-year-old. We had a 2-year-old's birthday party. I didn't know we were starting that young. I'm sure my daughter's birthday parties that she was invited to only started at age 3, although we were in lockdown, so maybe that had some impact. Anyways, sweet cone. Maybe the kids will eat that this weekend, I'm not sure. This is some leftover Gusto stuff. This is like the sweet collection. And again, some of this is like leftover sweets from my daughter's birthday party, and then other sweets that we keep in here. Honestly want us to be eating less sugar, so I think when they run out, maybe we won't be replacing it. And then this is like where our little electric box is. Let me just get something to wipe that out. Fuse box. It's a fuse box, not an electric box. And up here I have like big bowls and things that don't fit anywhere else. Again, more party plates in the back corner, they need to come out. Why do I have popcorn in here? Probably so the kids don't see it every time they go in the cupboard. Let's sort it out. Okay, we're almost on the home straight of the kitchen declutter, but one job that I really do need to do, it's not a clean as such, more of a declutter job to be honest. One thing I really do need to do is sort out this. This is basically where we keep our recycling because there's nowhere else to put it. And I don't like the idea of having like, you know, bins on display in the kitchen. So we put it in here because, you know, we have the space. It'd be nice to use this for something else, but I just frankly can't stand the idea of having like, we've got the black bin, we've got the cardboard bin, we've got the plastics bin. The kitchen would just be full of bins. There's nowhere else to put them, so we put them in here so at least that we can shut the door on it. But right now it needs sorting out, so we need to empty this stuff, so let's do that.
I might be going crazy, I don't know what to do. My heart is screaming for you, babe.
If you're wondering, that is a hole. The reason there's a hole there is because this actually used to have a washing machine in it when we moved in. It was like an integrated washing machine. But we now put the washing machine and the tumble dryer in the utility room, which is much better. But there's a hole in the back of there. I mean, we do have probably some stuff to fix it with, but frankly, it's just not been a priority. So no one sees it anyway once the bins are in. You know, we live here. Okay, kind of last but not least is this area and a few other bits and bobs. So this is a little table I was talking about that we have from IKEA that the kids sit at. It needs a good upgrade, basically. I've got a plan for it that I've had for quite a while. I painted it when I got it, but it needs like a full upcycle refresh, which maybe I'll do that in another video. I don't know. Let me know if you want to see that. And then we have this. Obviously, that's my light ring for filming content, but then we have a bunch of stuff that either has come in from the garden and shouldn't be there, or like there's a bag of like toddler duvets that my neighbor has donated to us, which is obviously really useful just to have spares for, you know, accidents, etc. So I need to put those away because they don't live in the kitchen.
What I'm trying to say is that you make the sky look blue, even when it is gray, babe. Every time I'm feeling down, you can make it go away. Your light is shining bright on me, got no reason to be afraid. You're glowing in the dark, you're glowing in the dark, glowing in the dark. I feel it in my heart. You're glowing in the dark, glowing in the dark. Yeah, you're glowing.
It's looking and feeling so much better in here, and I feel good about it. I know that it's one of those things where, apart from the fact that I've decluttered like the surfaces and put things away and tidied up in general, it's one of those things where it might not necessarily look that much different, but you know when you open a cupboard, it's not as full as it was before. Like some of the things I've just moved to places where they better fit, places where I'm not going to open them on a daily basis and be like, oh, things are falling out and whatnot. So I feel so much better about that. It feels tidier and cleaner. There are things I've got rid of that were just getting in the way. There are things I've moved. There are things that have gone to their like correct homes. I've just been outside to put that like cooler box, that picnic cooler box outside, and I've realised that basically we've got a storage bench outside of our back door. Our house is a little bit weird. We have a communal garden outside of our back door, not our own garden. So we just have like a storage bench that we can sit on, but it's also a storage bench out there. If you're in Britain, you will know it has rained so hard for basically the entire year so far. I think we've had about 2 dry days this year. And it has been pouring. It's like nearly the middle of June and it has been pouring lately, and apparently it's going to be a wet summer. But unfortunately the stuff in that storage bench probably shouldn't have been in there, because some of it's like, you know, the like weight plates that we just don't have room to keep in the house because we're not really using them at the minute. We put those outside, but obviously now they're going rusty, and there are bits of tools that are going rusty. So that was probably not a great decision. And that whole section and area needs sorting out all of itself. But I'm not a fan of spiders, so there is no way I'm going to do that by myself. I need my husband to be here to be on spider duty, and I'll just like supervise. There are so many more areas in this house that need sorting out. You do not want to look in my utility room right now. You don't want to look in it, but I'm trying to focus on manageable goals, and a manageable goal was to sort this kitchen out. It has taken a week, but I've sorted it out as best I can. The high chair's gone down. I think we're going to get that baby gate off. There are several things that I've decluttered out, including like the wine glasses, just bits of rubbish that just needed sorting out. So they've all gone and sorted out the pile of receipts. Things are feeling so much better. Now I'm not cleaning the kitchen today because I don't know how to say this without sounding a bit douchey. We actually have a cleaner coming. So I think I've mentioned in a video before, this makes me sound like a rich person. I couldn't be further from it. But I realised that with 2 young kids and a baby, I was struggling. So I really like to have a calm, clean environment. It helps my brain and like my mind for my environment to be clear and clean. Obviously we've got 2 young kids and they are, you know, whirlwinds, and they're very busy and they love crafting and all that sort of stuff, and just the general chaos that comes with kids, right? I just couldn't keep up with it, you know. My baby's only 19 months old, so I'm not long out of the baby phase, and frankly the toddler stage is just as bad if not worse. But during that time, I think we realised that much rather spend £30 every couple of weeks to have a cleaner come and just clean the bathrooms and the floors, just so that we know that they've been done, because it's just something I can't get around to. I've got 2 kids, 3 cats, I work a job and I run a business. So it just made sense, and honestly, it's one of the best financial decisions I've ever made. I would rather forego many things than our cleaner. And she only comes 2 hours every 2 weeks. I would love it to be more, but that's more realistic in our budget for right now. So she's coming, and hopefully she's going to be able to sort of clear the surfaces and mop the floors, and then this kitchen is going to be feeling amazing. But for right now, I'm pretty happy with the progress. And my plan is to basically do this as a series and just take you guys along as motivation for me to keep decluttering each room in the house one by one, and hopefully by the end of it we'll have a less cluttered and more calming environment that is much easier to maintain, because right now it feels just insanely difficult to maintain it. Do you feel overwhelmed by your house when you've got young kids? Do you love a good declutter? Let me know. Come and chat with me in the comments. You don't know how much leaving a comment on a video like this helps a little channel like mine. But for now, I'm Leigh from Mortgage Free Leigh. I talk about money and mum life on the internet, and I will see you on the next one.